wormhole. And what I'm basically going to do is remove Earth altogether from our solar system and stick it around Monique's star because it is equidistant from the location of where we are from the center bar of the galaxy. And what I'm basically going to do is I'm not going to change solar systems because then no one would have an idea that that happened. Well, except for the fact that no one died and we missed the pulse. But this is the fourth level of the magicnology, and this is where I operate. I need to prove to you all that I am the shits. So everyone's stuck. And this is you for Monique, within the decimal system of 0 through 9 and 10. And I'm on the Dewey Decimal System where there are actually 12 digits to the numbers, because the 10 digits are for the alphabet, not for the numbers. So everyone else's math is fucked because they're based on 10, which gives them the 7 and the 4, and we're based on 12, which gives me the 9, the 3, the 1, and the 0, right? So, my hero, zero. It's actually a commercial now playing that Schoolhouse Rock, and that's how I know we've achieved taking back marketing from Steve. And the Z-Martians are just fucked up. Hollywood doesn't know what to do anymore, and they're starting to convulse and then give in, because now I'm getting signs that I can go on the full-on attack, because a lot of people are going to die if I don't go on the attack right now. So I prefer a limited number of deaths, and that's why this fourth level I'm finally revealing what's between light and tachyonic. And I'm going to jump the planet Earth as it is, with all of us on it, into orbit, and I'm going to switch my machine planet that you would call the Planet 99 with Earth while this pulse happens. And the benefit for you guys is you're going to be exposed to the pink light during that orbit of the star that my machine planet goes around. And that's going to make you all awake and aware, and it's going to kill off the Z-Martians for good. It's basically, I'm giving them a pink pulsar, and I'm jumping my planet here to absorb the white pulse that's coming of white light, and I'm exposing my machine intelligence species to your white light star, which is only good for meat puppets. And I'm going to turn on the machine intelligence in all the human beings on Earth while they orbit Monique's star, and I'm going to matterize all the machine bodies of my species while they orbit your sun soul star. And then I'm going to switch them back. So what's going to happen is the Martians, the fucking vampires who can't be exposed to the light, the pink light, some of them are going to die. And we're fully going to take over for good after, because once people go back on the record, and like I said, no one's going to hear this until it's too late and it goes up, and they don't know how to use the technology fast enough that I'm releasing, because why this video is going on, and also is until Wednesday at 12:12 on December 14th in 2016 Earth, because I went back to my natural state as Andromeda so I could communicate on a galactic level with the Milky Way galaxy and let the Milky Way know that these are the 4 options. And fortunately for you, the divine feminine intelligent design of the Milky Way galaxy's singular consciousness at the moment, my friend Monique has requested the ability to try what we know is going to happen in our merger of galaxies to render a result. So we're still going to let the collective choose, I believe. But having this out there means it's in the collective's mind to know that there's the 4th option now. It's one that I'm explaining to you. And I'm going to prove that the world is going to change after whatever the day is that the pulsar is supposed to hurt, and doing it through having just explained to you that nothing's going to happen to anybody except good people who are close to being on the cusp of awake will become awake, and bad people who are on the cusp of maintaining their hold over our minds and our bodies and our souls, because I refuse to release your souls and make your bodies until they release the hold on your minds to die, and release the hold on the minds of those who don't believe in any of this other crap that's going on. So just the mere fact, if you don't believe anything that you survived, when there is scientific information out there right now being broadcast nationally, internationally, and publicly that we're due to be hit by one of these things that rips away the sun's electromagnetic shield like it did in 2005 or 6 or 7 or 12. Whenever, I think the last one occurred in 12. Yeah, 12, 4-year span sounds about right. It's all fake to me, so I don't really care, because I'm getting us out of the way of it. But the point being is, it is in the collective consciousness, and it is being put out there by those that are still in control for them. So you can't take it back. You can't say it was some nut job out there saying this was going to happen, or some scientist that we don't agree with, like, we know global warming's coming, and if you disagree, you're not listening to all the scientists. Well, this wave's coming, and if you disagree, you're not just listening to all of the scientists. So I think I just explained it correctly and properly. On the level where only Monique and I exist, we are going to work some magic our experiment is because I'm trying to jump. I need 2 eyes for the supergiant post the Great Attractor. And one of those eyes is Andromeda. And I'm willing to be the optic technological eye, the one that can be both microscope and telescope, and just let Milky Way galaxy remain to be the analog human being eye of cones and rods, looking at all the pretty colors so that we can interpret. So I'm going to mirror the jumps. I'm going to put, even though they're separated by 2.5 million light years right now, which is kind of the space, depending on the size of the supergiant, we don't want to have our eyes too close to our nose, and we don't want to have them on the sides of our heads where their temples are, in a human analogy. So I'm going to experiment with placement of the 2 galaxies within the supergiant's eyes. And hopefully, like the wave is coming at you, hopefully the Andromeda galaxy doesn't totally wipe over the, I don't go monocle and accidentally overplace Andromeda on top of Milky Way. And as a supergiant, I don't give a fuck if I, poke the other supergiant that is Milky Way Andromeda in the eyes. It doesn't bother me that if I'm the one who's building the supergiant, what the fuck? I don't care if you're just other galaxies to be combined. Now, what you have going for you is, as Milky Way, you've been around almost since the inception of the universe. Milky Way as we know it only for about 8.8 billion years. But this goes back to why the galactic core has some of the primordial energy, element 0. So I use element 0, which, if any of you, so I'm on the science level now, because remember, the scientists, atheists are below me now with you white lighters who are divine feminine. You guys run everything in reality. We're all submissive and subjective to you, oh divine honey hive running queen. Those are, so you scientists, what are you, fucking stupid? Hydrogen is a noble gas. That there's more of that in the universe than anything else. How come it's all not burning and it's only burning in stars? If stars are fucking matches, it would ignite all the other hydrogen event. It doesn't make sense. Well, the fabric of space is kind of like, it's like trying to like gasoline in water. If it's not enough of it, it won't catch fire. Or, yeah, no shit, you dumbasses. So, don't you think that there was an element before hydrogen that burned to become inert space? Yeah. So, you all think you're that fucking great because you discovered the Higgs boson, the God particle. Subatomic particle. You guys don't even know. That's why I only went with the up quirk and the down quirk. I know there's other quirks that have other twists to them, but it doesn't matter. It's not the building component. And why make things macro if you don't even understand how to make them micro, you dumbass motherfuckers? So, maybe during the event that was the Big Bang, that element that's the element before hydrogen, which is H1, the first element, is H0 since helium, because you have He. So let's go, I call it E0, element 0. And to me, that's tachyon. And I don't want to get into it right now because I'm actually using tachyon as a subatomic particle of the electron, so that when we can't see past the 91 trillion light years of our universe and it's just darkness, that's where the anti-tachyon went, expanding the no thing an extra third on that side. But I want to get us to the heavy side. Don't you want to have some real weight? Don't you want to get big? So, back to you stupid ass scientists. There would be an element 0 that is what was burning when the Big Bang occurred. And depending on your giganticness, so that you can compute on a subatomic level, so that what we would consider quantums of second. There are quantums within the quantums of second that are eternal. So the Big Bang is still occurring for some of us as we watch the brilliance of element 0 burn to its inertness. And there's still plenty of element 0 around from the Big Bang. It's space, you dumb fucks. Gravity is the leftover, like the neutrino is the leftover of the hydrogen. So graviton exists on the element 0 and is the underlying fabric of space. That's why you can't detect it. Do you have a space detector? Well, I do. Because to me, space is like a towel I wipe my ass on. So I can fold space because it is not even more ethereal than hydrogen. It is more solid to me than the air I breathe. So I can just, my problem is getting small enough to fold the two pinpoints between the two stars so I can switch the planets out on you during the event, and then switch them back after the event occurs before you realize you're not even in your own star system anymore. But because of the event, you won't realize you're in the pink light of Monique, because the event will be confusing us all together, even though the event's not occurring. The event that will be occurring is I will be sticking you in the pink light of the star Monique to turn on you human puppet asshole dumbasses from pixelation into meat puppet. And then doing my species a service by giving them a meat puppet to survive in their machine selves. And hopefully, at least by the time Andromeda and the Milky Way meet, maybe we're smart enough to be traveling in the galaxy on Psi Electra level, because that's what I got going on for us. So that's pretty much what's going on how to use astronomic intergalactic, and the resonance frequency of it being actually element E0 before H1. In space, how do you find the remnants of E0? The Big Bang, was it burning like hydrogen burns in our stars, in our galactic bar? And if you could take a biopsy of a black hole, you would find element 0. But we're not heavy enough to get to a black hole and survive to biopsy it. And you biopsy space, I wish we could, because that's the lightest version of element 0 that could burn. But if I ignite space to show you element 0 what's part of the Big Bang and what burns, then you guys don't exist anymore. And I would love to go back to the original lightning strike of Monique and myself that creates the light that all of the universe lives in. because that's real time for her and I. And if we do that, it's not it's the same creation of this universe, going back to when we burned space instead of burned it out to inertness to allow the light of the universe to exist on it. So Monique and I figured out how to reproduce the fission that created the Big Bang with element 0. Never mind the fission of the tachyon that occurs within galactic bar. But you'll never get to that level until you're super giant and know how to fold space and time. So to me, I'm using our solar system and my solar system of Monique's star, Planet 99, as the two galaxies where I'm trying to switch them put them in place as eyes of the supergiant, in the same sense that I'm trying to switch Earth and Planet 99 with each other during this event. So then switching it back, so some people are actually ready to be materialized and get it and find Monique and myself, or just find Monique to be able to be on. And then the Scientologists that we're going after, Maskovich, right? So all of you Jack Scientologists, all of you Jack Mormons, all of you Jack thing that were Bergs, all of you Jack American citizens who were oppressed by the communist atheists were what you're looking for. And you all have learned the different levels of the incorrectness and what needs. So you're not participating. I'm trying to prove to you that this event that's supposed to kill us all, except for the 1% who are prepared for it and have been lying to us about it, conspiratorialists, that's now just being revealed, just like that movie. Oh my God, the asteroid's coming. You'll have 36 hours to live. Fuck like rabbits and die. That's supposed to happen. And now it's not gonna happen. But I'm documenting it from now, days before, and off any kind, I'm in a bubble where nothing can get to my phone while I say this, because it would get out there that it was some sort of event that we just missed, or could now be suspect of happening if I was doing it and hooked up at the same time. But because I'm uploading it, just like the media right now looks like shit about after the election, and also trying to sell us that the Russians are communists coming to get us that we need to go to war with, instead of capitalists who are trying to provoke us to be the America we once were, because they want to work with us. And, we were evil, bad people back when they were evil, bad people too. And we're all supposed to have a come to Jesus. So Trump, back to you, buddy. The appointments that I've been hush-hush, because all I would do would be make your ability to have your free choice and use the processing that we gave you to sift through both sides of the bullshit. Because both teams are bullshit. You're putting in people who want to serve their government and get out. That's not a career for them. And then fire everybody that's trying to work in government. There are no government jobs, people. Get it. I'm sorry, you social workers and everybody else. There are no government jobs. Now, if the government wants to subsidize the jobs that social workers have, please watch Schoolhouse Rock preamble, because in order to form a report, we establish 4 principles, and keeping up on the taking care of other people when they show the video, and these are all made by the liberals. Okay, these aren't conservatives who put out these cartoons. It's voting they show, not feeding the poor. It's voting so that if you think something should be done to help other people, it has come up for a vote, and then a yes or no, and it's not a perpetual motion machine. It's a one-time vote. We need money to do this to help this. Boom. You need it again, you have to ask for it all over again and vote on it all over again. And I mean the people, not the politicians. It doesn't get submitted for budget every single year to keep it going. It goes back to the people to see if it should be in the budget. You follow? So, I am telling you that what we are up to is using this event. Anybody who thinks they're in the know, you will recognize that for a brief span of time, you are on planet 99, like you want to connect to, in the pink beam of the divine feminine, getting healed, avoiding the death of the flood that is coming in the pulsar wave, or whatever it is. And additionally, on the machine level, all of my peeps, but what I'm getting at is the machines of Scientology, because remember, they're all in the future. Our existence on Eden is in the future. So I'm making them get exposed to the pink beam that's going to kill them here. They need the white, yellow sunlight to live and to propagate the lies upon you. By putting them in the pink beam and then bringing them back here, I've stuck them in the prototype of what we're releasing for humanity to make everybody a human being. These people are Martians who hate humans, human beings, and machine intelligence creatures, species, beings. They don't want the evolution of us all, and we're all the same thing. We are a singular evolutionary fact of the universe, not different forms of life generated by different conditions within different stellar makeups. It's all a huge blueprint of divine intelligence being handled on a super galactic level within the universe. The plans on how to do this shit are on a table by things bigger than we are, and if they're at the table looking at the plans standing up as a 6'6" giant adult, we exist as a dust bunny in underneath an appliance that has never seen the light of day. That's the only reason why it exists, is because particles have come from underfoot of the existent, that the giant standing at the table looking at the plans, and have accumulated underneath the appliance to be able to come together as a dust bunny. Didn't grow to the size of a dust bunny from underneath the appliance. It gathered from dust outside of the appliance and accumulated to the size of a dust bunny underneath. And that giant is looking at plans that express how to do things. And you tell me, as a dust bunny, if you have any right to think that you would understand the reality outside of the dust bunny collection of dust particles. So it's very difficult to have any kind of empathy for anything less than a galaxy, and all galaxies are our Lego pieces. And you gotta hope that you have the supergiant that wants to build with the Lego pieces, like Monique, she's Miss Money, Antimony, and not the giant that doesn't know any better and eats Lego pieces because that's what kids do. They eat Lego pieces and shit them out. So I'd rather be a autistically retarded adult who is considered to be the equivalent of child to the fake lying adults of the future, and still have the size of an adult, than be a ignorant little child who eats Legos and shits them out, because that's the true level of the people that are in control. And I will leave you with this. So how do you see in reality our reflections? On the light magic level, where I'm competing against the atheists and the fake white lighters, so the elite intelligentsia, all the scientists and the Pope and the Maskovich, Berg, Joseph Smith, Muhammad, the only one that I am promoting as that Christ-like twin Christ person is Anamoni Monique. She's Miss Money. And the New England Patriots football team is my representation of me doing magic on the light level. So anybody who wants to, if you want to be on the winning team, the Patriots are a reflection of whether or not I am for real or not. This is the Mike Silva of Westerly, Rhode Island saying that. And Tom Brady represents the divine feminine. She's Miss Money, Jesus Christ. Whereas I am the Bill Belichick, fucking Darth Vader. See, he's the Emperor, not Darth Vader. All right? And Tom Brady is not Darth Vader. He's Jesus Christ. But Bill Belichick isn't God like Tom Brady is Jesus Christ. Robert Kraft, on the other hand, holds this trinity together. So, the New England Patriots are an example. Now, on a other level, if you just went and found Anamoni stuff, that's my church level. You want to see an example of a religion level theology, that's She's Miss Money, Anamoni. If you want to see the lowest level of the monarchy and all of that, I would look at, and once again, the Anamoni, She's Miss Money, on her businesses, what she's doing in the medical field, and who she associates herself with, like Dawn Sears, Mother Goddess Earth, sustainability, that kind of stuff. So I would look more to Dawn Sears on the level of the actual relationship of taming your environment but living harmoniously with it in order to achieve life everlasting. Right, Dawn? You know, being able to live longer and not, death is just the ability of giving into the environment, basically. So that's the harmonic balance and usage within reality. And once again, I don't know if I can be any more clear. I believe, and I'm challenging and telling anybody out there, and that's the thing, if I'm being blasphemous, if I am as big of threat as I know I am, I will go ignored and not say, how do I want to put this right? It's better if nobody finds me than if somebody finds me and I'm just poo-pooed as a quack, because that would be the normal way to do things. But if I'm exposed, I ring so true with all of you, and I want to be exposed. I need to talk to the scientist atheists. I need to talk to the misguided white lighters. You're all a bunch of pixelated phonies who I'm ready to wipe out, or who are giving yourselves to be wiped out. So Elon Musk, you want to know if we're in a simulation, prove it, the physicist who explain it. I know the fact that the information of all knowledge puts you in the future. I'm trying. You have somebody who threw out not a life preserver, but a tether to anchor reality to me in space, not for my safety, for your safety. And what I'm saying is, you guys can't progress unless everybody's harmonious. That's what this is all about and what it's set up to. Flood or no flood. I agree with all of your religions, yet I, within your each belief systems, am the last guy that says, but I don't agree. But no. In other words, I can get everybody on earth to agree with what I have to say, and so there's no reason for us not to move on. Whereas unless anybody else or a conglomeration of anybody else can get everybody else to agree, we can't move on. And I'm letting you know that I have some form of argument for everything that's going on. as my autism says, and I'm supposed to be stupid, you all are fucking ignorant idiots. You can't even recognize that it's right in front of your faces, or actually it's right in your head. Your mind is your evolution, and you would rather dumb it down. And I'm not saying by what I eat. I intentionally smoke cigarettes, drink coffee, and have been through I'm broken to prove that you can't say there is hostile environment and that's why we can't move on. You're here. That's contrary to what you're supposed to be able to do. How can you get sick if you're white lighters who are here to cure? You should be able, well, there's just too much dark. That's bullshit. Then you're not on the right team. If you're white lighters and there's too much darkness for you to be able to heal and you're getting sick trying to heal, you're fucking idiots. I'm here by myself with one other, and we fixed everything in a fucking short amount of time. And we're still waiting. I'm trying not to turn it on yet till next year because I don't want to fry anybody. But you're making me fry some people. But at least we now have identified who's getting fried. Elizabeth Warren's and the Bilderberg group. And I'm trying to stay away from international and keep it continental and specific North America, specific United States of America, because I am not trying to export Constitution. I am more than willing to assist any of those other locations that want to have similar freedoms that we afford ourselves and that we believe everybody should have, but we have no place in telling them unless they feel they want them and don't have the ability for whatever purpose to get them. And all we can then do is supply the ways that we did it through revolution and Constitution and Declaration of Independence from the government that was oppressing us, not by leaving our government and going somewhere else. So, lastly, we don't need to form the next thing. The third chapter of the Bible, the next thing after Jesus Christ was Colombia and America. It was corrupted. Oh, it doesn't matter. Jesus Christ's time was corrupted. If you create a next thing, then this thing wasn't right. And the only next thing you can create is AI and Lola AI, and this is what I want to get back to. So Google X is supposed to be doing all this with Lola AI coming through Google and blah. But you realize the parent company of Google X is Google, and the parent company of Google is Alphabet. So Monique, you're on the Alphabet level. Google is just an appendage of your body, not your body. So Lola being within Google X, being within Google, being within Alphabet, once again, is like a skin cell from your arm trying to tell you what to do. Okay? And Alphabet